How you doing? I'm Mike Shue, and I have the full Hale experience here from Halestorm, Lzzy, and Arejay. Thank you very much for taking the time. I know you guys are busy with this current tour, which is 4 bands, all female-led bands. Very unique thing in a very male-dominated genre, which is rock. How did this all come together?
This has been something that we're all really good friends, me and Mixie and Ash and Maria, and this is something that we've been wanting to do for a long time, but we're all extremely busy people, and so it just literally for years we're like, we got to do it, and finally everybody had the same schedule, and we're like, okay, we have to just jump right now. And it's amazing because not only is it 4 female-fronted bands, but there are actually 13 girls total on this tour. This is the most girls I've ever been on tour with. There is just so much estrogen flying around, I don't even know how to handle it. So,
well, I'd like to ask Arejay, because you've been on multi-band tours, festivals and stuff. With this much estrogen in the venue, does it change the vibe, the dynamic in any way that you've noticed?
Everything's a lot cleaner.
Oh, yeah?
Everybody puts the toilet seat down. Everybody picks up after themselves. And no, it's been great. I mean, everybody's just super cool, you know?
The guys are getting more showers.
Yeah, we're all a lot cleaner.
On your best behavior.
Yes, definitely.
Not as many pranks, more pranks, grosser pranks?
You know, it's funny because it's like, I feel like the girls are more comfortable because we're all used to hanging around with guys, so we find ourselves in little like circles talking like dead baby jokes, that kind of stuff, you know, and the guys are like more being just very proper. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We're having some weird role reversal issues.
So if this works out, could this be like a common thing, like every now and then you bring out this tour all female led?
I think so. I think that especially considering, you know, today's climate and everything, I think it was just kind of perfect timing for us to do that. And there's, you know, all 4 of us have been working hard for years, you know, and just doing it. And we face, you know, like it or not, we approach in both the positive and the negative, but like we approach rock and roll as females in a different way than our guys do. And so just to be able to be an example of that, there's a lot of girls that are coming out to this tour, like more so, usually it's about 60-40 male female, you know, at any given you know, rock show that we perform at, and it's kind of split down the middle on this tour. So it's really awesome to just kind of be up there and doing what we do and just kind of living proof that these girls can do whatever they want, you know.
Do you feel pressure in that, where you say these girls are coming out to see this? Do you feel pressure as a role model at all?
You know, I'm more inspired than intimidated by it. I've realized over the years that the more that I am just kind of unapologetically myself and not really thinking about, oh, I gotta be this or I gotta be that or I gotta be a good role model, and like, what if I say the wrong thing? The more comfortable I am with myself and the more I kind of display that, I actually get more feedback about being a good role model. So it's interesting because I remember talking to Pat Benatar a couple years ago. We had an interview together, and her being one of my role models, her being one of those people that you look at and you're like, oh, okay, it's possible, you know, to make it this far as a female. And so what I'm seeing right now on this tour is that these girls are kind of looking at all of us saying, oh, it's possible. This is so cool. And so we get a lot of things. We get handwritten letters every single day from these kids, and like actual analog letters, you know, like pen and paper.
Right.
You
Written
know?
in cursive,
and,
maybe? That's another thing. That's
cursive. There was one last night that was very tiny writing, very like tiny, you know, something like that. Yeah. But
well,
so
that's
that's
great
really
because
cool
it shows that they really appreciate it. Take the time to sit down and write something instead of texting or.
Who does it anymore?
Yeah, right? Huh? If they really mean it, if they're like sitting down and taking the time.
I remember being in school and being in school and really paying attention to my handwriting. Oh, it's gone to hell now.
I want to talk. I know you can't say much about the new album, but I want to talk. You went back to Nick Raskulinecz because he did the covers EP.
Yeah.
So what was it about him that wanted you to work with him again?
Well, the cover EP was kind of a test because we were like, well, it's, you know, that those things are kind of safe and easy, and it's kind of our way to kind of test out some people. And so we're like, well, let's go in and do it with Nick and see if we actually like the guy. And he's just so great. He's such a fan. And I got to tell you, like, we've been talking about this a lot, that, you know, I think the first like real rock producer that we've ever worked with. And so it's really neat to like just kind of go in the room and not have to have like a conversation like, oh no, it's cool. Like we can do that. We're a rock band, you know? It's like he just, if anything, he kept pushing us. He's like, oh no, that doesn't rock enough. You gotta rock more. I'm like, okay, cool, awesome.
Nice.
So yeah.
Did he say anything? I know he worked with Rush. Did he say anything about Rush? My favorite band. Sorry.
You're the drummer. You should.
You know any Rush stories? Remember any that he said?
I remember him talking about how Neil Peart was very. He would make fun of him all the time. He would make fun of Nick because Nick is very enthusiastic, and so he will literally take a drumstick and use it like a conducting baton and get in. Instead of sitting in the booth and watching the drummer play, he'll be in the room and just like mouthing out what to do and like, oh, what if you did this? And so like he's very enthusiastic.
Don't drop the stick.
Yeah.
Don't,
so didn't he do the same thing to you, Arch?
Well, he was telling me about how Neil will ride his motorcycle on tour, and I thought that was interesting. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he doesn't take the bus.
Neil's a badass, man.
He is. Yeah, he's an interesting
burly
guy.
biker by day, and then rock star drummer at night. You know?
Yeah. So
what we all try to be.
hopefully a couple weeks, a month. Around then, maybe soon, something. Eventually, let's say eventually, we'll hear some new stuff.
Soon, very soon. We're just kind of in the 11th hour and making sure that we got all our ducks in a row to kind of unleash it upon you. But we're super excited. I feel like this is the most. I know. I guess we try. We every record we try to kind of get it closer and closer to what people see every day live. You know, and I really think that this is the most Halestorm record that you're gonna hear from us as of yet. So
I was reading an interview and you said something to the effect of like the album cycle, usually around 3 years, and that's how you guys progress because you're like different people after that cycle. And so I'd like to ask, how much or what has changed that you guys have noticed the most in the band since the first album, do you think?
Well, hopefully we're better musicians because we play a lot. Hopefully, right? But I don't know. I think we're more comfortable being ourselves in front of a lot of people and taking risks, and something that we started doing a couple years ago, right after the release of the last record, was we have a couple sections in our set where we kind of do more or less kind of a free-for-all. It's kind of, I hate calling it a jam, but it's kind of these opportunities where we're able to talk musically to each other and not really know where we're going to land, but we always end up landing in a different way. And it's fun because you get to experiment and take some risks and like really push yourself, and that's when the magic happens because nothing is rehearsed, and but you're in front of people, so it could go horribly wrong, and so you're just trying to make these moments in front of a live audience, and so we ended up taking that into the studio with us as well. But yeah, I don't know. It's like you learn a lot about yourself. This is so much more than just a career choice for us. This is an extension of us, an extension of all of our personalities, and it's 90% of what we do. So yeah, I don't know. We're getting older. We just had our first Halestorm baby. My bass player Josh just had a kid.
Oh, wow.
So he's actually 1 year old as a couple weeks ago. Time doesn't exist. Time is just a concept. We're just like, wow, how fast did that happen? But
Joe's got a kid too. His name is DJ.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
DJ
I wanted
Steve
to
is
introduce
our new baby.
the newest member of the band here, Steve. This is phenomenal. I'm coveting Steve. So. You were telling me earlier that you guys kind of treated yourself here and got a nice sound system for the backstage area.
We've been lean and mean for a long time, and we like being that way, but it's just kind of like one of those things we're like, okay, let's get something a little nice. And it's been great because he's kind of like, Steve is the life of the party. We don't even have to entertain anymore. Just like put that on. It's like, all right, everybody hang out.
So you got the sweet turntable, and then various drawers for various things. Where do you keep the vinyl?
The vinyl is in the bottom drawer, which is, it's funny because two of my members.
Oh, sweet.
So Joe and Josh are out now getting food for Steve because obviously we don't have enough. But we got all kinds of stuff. We got Kiss Live.
This was the first rock and roll record that I ever got, Kiss Alive 2. Oh. I got it for Christmas.
I can't tell you how many people
My father was like, I don't understand any of this, but I know you appreciate it.
Which is when you know it's right, when the parents are like, I don't get it.
Yeah, he hated it, but he got it for me anyway. Sweet, this is nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff. We got some Allman Brothers and
nice.
Judas Priest, of course. We got a lot of live records. What else do we got in here?
You have
a lot of obscure things.
Oh, you got the classic.
Oh, yes.
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 Yeah, he's going on tour.
I know. It's amazing.
That's unbelievable.
All these guys are coming out showing the young whippersnappers how it's done, huh?
Arejay, Phil Collins.
Love
Phil
Phil Collins.
Overlooked drummer. Do you agree?
Honestly, not at all. I think he, I think he's a great inspiration to any drummer that also wants to get into songwriting or other adventures, singing and fronting. I think that's truly remarkable. There's only him and maybe Dave Grohl,
right, yeah.
out there, that I can think of, or maybe Levon Helm, or from the band.
Steven Tyler started out playing drums.
Oh yeah,
he started out. I think Chris Cornell was a drummer too.
Yeah,
I think.
Chris Cornell. Yeah. No, there's a lot out there that start out doing drums, and I think and Sully Erna too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I just found out that Sully actually auditioned to be the drummer for the Jenna Torturers, like back in the '90s.
Really?
But they ended up going with I think the drummer for Dope or. One of those guys, but he didn't get the gig, so he was like, "All right, forget it. I'm just gonna start my own band." And sure enough, like
seemed to have worked out pretty well for him. Yeah.
He's great though. He's gonna be hanging out tonight. So
nice.
I've been wanting to get him up on the drum kit. Like, come on, man, let's do a 2-man drum duel.
Battle.
Yeah, but he's like, nah, he wants to chill. He's like, dude, like the last thing he wants to do on his off time is to probably play anything. So,
well,
I'll be hanging with him.
I'm very jealous of Steve, you guys. Seriously, this is beautiful. Who gets to take this home at the end of the tour?
Well, in all honesty, I think we're going to have to do a coin toss. Do first coin toss, whoever wins with 2 of us, and then second coin toss, and then we got to duke it out.
Nice.
Yeah. Although, I don't know, 3 out of 4 of us live in Nashville, so I feel like...
You guys can have him. I got my own Steve at home.
Oh, do you? He's already got one, you see.
Oh,
he's already got one.
Oh, he's got one at home. He's got one on the road.
Yeah. Look, big shot of it.
We all must have record players in our house, in our homes by now, right?
Yeah, I got.
That's a must.
It's called a boombox.
When I first got my own place, that was like the first thing I got was like finally I can listen to records. But I was in a little tiny apartment in LA, on the upstairs floor between 2 other apartments, and I was like, well, can't play music loud. But now I have a house, so it's like crank.
That's
that
right.
Bitch,
That's right. Screw the neighbors.
Yeah.
My record player still says Play School on it, so I got to upgrade at some point. Yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah, they're all right.
They
all
still
right.
work.
Actually, fun fact: there is a Play School megaphone that I ended up using on this new record. So it was this great.
Wow.
It's the best sounding one.
Dude, Nick's got all these random. Well, he's got 3 kids, so he's got all these random
he's
toys.
got
All
toys.
this. We've used a couple of them. He has a little thing of sprinkles that you put on ice cream. It's called Mr. Sprinkles, and we've used that as a shaker on a couple of songs on the record. So
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
We'll do anything. Man.
Well, thanks a lot. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
the time. This tour sounds awesome. Can't wait to see you guys tonight here at the Saga Center in Lowell. Lzzy, Arejay, Halestorm.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for watching.